So according to Eddie Hearn, he stated that Anthony Joshua suffered brain damage during the Ruiz fight in the third round, and he doesn't remember hardly anything up to the 6th and 7th round. That's why he was asking his trainer in the corner, what did he hit me with? And even on some other occasions, he will ask his trainer, what should I expect from Ruiz, even after he got knocked down and already survived another round. But he still don't have a clue what Ruiz was doing. So let's get straight to it. Now, Anthony Joshua, if it's true that he suffered brain damage, why is he having a rematch right away? He should take a little break to recover so he could be 100% when he takes the rematch with Ruiz. Why is Eddie Hearn throwing Anthony Joshua under the bus if that's your number one guy and you really care for him like you say you do? Then you shouldn't let him fight Ruiz right away. He should have at least 9 months to recover from the brain damage he suffered. On top of that, he claiming that the rumors of Anthony Joshua having a panic attack before the fight is also not true. However, people like Tyson Fury dad and others heard that Anthony Joshua was having a panic attack. That's why he stayed in the locker room too much, and they was blaming it on the gloves, on the trunks, anything but the panic attack. So if that was the case, then Anthony Joshua ain't ready mentally for the rematch, especially not in the US. If it takes place in the UK where he comfortable, then he might have a better shot. Even then, knowing the fact that he already lost to Ruiz and got knocked out by Ruiz, he still might have another panic attack. The place and state where you fight at shouldn't change the fact that you're gonna panic or not. You know, I know it was his first time fighting in New York City, but I believe he had a panic attack because he got knocked out in sparring. So if he really did have a panic attack, then I don't think it was the results because he was fighting in New York City and his hometown crowd weren't there, because according to Eddie Hearn, like 7,000 flew over to the States to support Anthony Joshua. So if that's the case, he pretty much at home. What difference does that make? Matter of fact, it's even a smaller arena. So if that's the case, then it wasn't the fact that the crowd and the location is what got him nervous and had him panicking. It was the fact that he got knocked out in sparring like 2 weeks before that, and he just didn't feel like he was ready. So Eddie Hearn could pretend and say that Anthony Joshua was not panicking, he did not have a panic attack, blah, blah, blah. But one thing for sure, he is not consistent with what he says, because he said he was there. Then a minute later, he says, I asked Anthony Joshua, did you have a panic attack? Suggesting that he wasn't there. Basically, he had to go and ask him what was going on in the locker room with you. So like I said, Eddie Hearn is addicted to lying. It's just a second nature to him. So he doesn't pay attention when he contradicts himself, but that's the nature of a professional liar right there. You know, the only difference is that Eddie Hearn doesn't know how to put makeup and cover up his own lies, because he exposed himself in the same interviews. It ain't like he having different interviews where he says different things. No, he actually be contradicting himself in the same damn interview. Now, if this is all true, which most likely it is all true, Eddie Hearn really cares more so about his promotion company than Anthony Joshua as a whole, because if he really cared about Anthony Joshua, he would not activate the rematch clause this soon, knowing the fact that Anthony Joshua just had a panic attack, knocked out in sparring and in a fight, and had lost memory of the fight itself. If that's all true, then why is Eddie Hearn pushing for the rematch? Not the fact that he wanted to be next, that's fine, but the fact that he want the rematch ASAP. Like I said, Anthony Joshua need time to recover and heal, and Eddie Hearn is not doing that. And they already came out to the conclusion to have the fight next. It's more of a pride thing for Anthony Joshua at this point. I mean, he cannot look like a punk. Eddie Hearn could say all he wants that Anthony Joshua was too calm. That's what he was worried about. But trust me, he was too nervous. Anthony Joshua definitely had a lot of butterflies going around his head like a hula hoop the whole time, because it just didn't look like his natural self. And if that's the case, like I said, then Eddie Hearn should know better and advise him to actually take some time off and think about making a decision before activating a rematch clause. But that's not what Eddie Hearn is doing. On top of that, right after the fight, Anthony Joshua said he don't even know if he had a rematch clause or not. So it already sounded like he does not want a rematch right away. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn was telling the public that they do have a rematch clause. So it ain't that hard to ask your promoter, So all I'm saying is a lot of things from Anthony Joshua team is just not consistent from what Anthony Joshua is saying and from what Eddie Hearn is saying. And one thing for sure, Anthony Joshua's father was finna do Eddie Hearn the same way Ruiz did Anthony Joshua after the fight. But Eddie Hearn blamed that on silly stuff like the trunks or food or whatever, So, like I said, Eddie Hearn is just telling lies that don't make sense. Just like when Anthony Joshua had bruises on his face, he claimed that was due to physio stuff, which is don't even add up, don't even make sense, not even a bit. And then on a different interview, he says some other reason. And then as far as the rumors about getting knocked out before the fight, you see Eddie Hearn signing that same fighter that knocked Anthony Joshua down or out before the fight. So, like I said, the moves they making doesn't add up with what they saying, and that's all I'm saying. So subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about it, and if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual ass fans or what Eddie Hearn got to say, because he a casual too. Or basically he lies to the casual fans, and the casual fans follow as usual. So peace, and we out.